Hello and welcome to the Aniview end of year announcement. So this is Lyzl, and unfortunately Leon can't be joining me today because he has already headed back to his hometown. So hopefully you guys can just bear with me for this special episode of Aniview, and I can explain what's been going on. So firstly, we both really want to apologize for how sketchy Aniview has been over this past semester or 4 months. It has just been quite a hassle for us. We just haven't had the time, we've been exhausted, and things just haven't been going our way for the last 4 months or so. So I'll go through kind of the recap of what's been happening. In January, the day after the 1-year anniversary of Aniview, we got banned from YouTube. And so I don't know how many of you have come back from that or knew us before we got banned, but yeah, it's called Aniview Reviews 2 because there was an Aniview Reviews 1 that got banned. So yeah, that kind of sucks. We had to kind of cut down how much pictures and music we had in our videos because of this, but we're still trying to go strong. And you can see all of our old videos. I know we don't seem to have too much videos on YouTube, but you can actually check out our pretty large archive of videos at aniviewreviews.com. And so yeah, if you did want to check out our, actually pretty extensive review selection, you can go there. And I know we don't have that much on YouTube, but we do actually have quite a few reviews out, even if they aren't on YouTube. And then as we went through the semester, after that ban, we just felt so upset over being banned that we just really couldn't get much material out. And by the time we got our energy back to do it, it was midterm season. And midterms usually aren't that big of a deal, but this time around we just got hammered by them. It was just exhausting. There were so many projects, and both of us had to drop courses due to how intense the workload was for both of us, and we just weren't able to handle it and Aniview at the same time then. And this also created a kind of exhaustion point where we just wanted to relax for a week or two after these intense midterms. So after that, we gave it a week, another week, and we really didn't want to get back into Aniview. We just felt so exhausted, and it was nice to have this relaxation time after those devastating midterms. By the time, again, we got our energy back, it was exams and final project season, and again this sort of cycle happened, and we just couldn't keep up with everything. And even though we really wanted to get back to Aniview at that point, it just wasn't meant to be. So while we did manage to get a few scattered episodes out, we feel terrible that we weren't able to get what we wanted out there. Alright, but I do have some good news, and I will be talking about some cool things throughout this special announcement. So the first thing I want to talk about is these past seasons and what we've been watching in anime, so you kind of know what's been going on for at least our anime watching lives. So starting from the oldest, we've been watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, so we're still going strong with this. It's an excellent series, regardless of if you're an old FMA fan or if you're brand new to the franchise. This series is fantastic. It follows the manga. Supposedly, I have actually read it, but it seems to have a much more coherent story in some places than the original FMA did, but some people say it lacks the charm that the original one did. I kind of disagree with that. I do enjoy a more coherent story more, and this one just really fits with me. Everything about it I understand, and I'm really liking the direction it's going. Although I won't say it's one of my favorite series of all time, it is absolutely solid and is completely worth watching the 54 episodes plus that are out right now. So the next series that we've been watching just from last season is Dora. So this is still undoubtedly our #1 pick from last season, and it's still ongoing. So this is made by the same people who made Baccano, so anyone who liked Baccano, I can pretty much wholeheartedly say that if you like Baccano, you're pretty likely to like Dora. And overall, this series is just fantastic. It has amazing characters. It's about Ikebukuro, Japan, which is sort of a section of Tokyo which is famous for its sort of gang wars and crime. And they really brought a flavor and life to it. It's kind of like a New Orleans or something like that, where everything is lively and jazz-filled and everything is interesting. All the characters have amazing interactions and relationships, and you're just really trying to figure out where this story is going because so many unique things happen in this series, and it's just a roller coaster ride of interesting plot twists and characters that are changing their minds and finding out about their developments throughout the series. So overall, if you're trying to figure out what series to watch and you really just want to keep up with the season, Dora is definitely one you should check out. Another one that's sort of it's not really part of any particular season, but it started in January, and it's one hour long episode every month since then. So episode 4 just came out in April, so it's the fourth episode, and it should be about 12 episodes long, ending in December. So and it's called Katanagatari. And so Katanagatari follows the story of a swordsman who does not fight with a sword; he fights with his body. He is sort of hired on by a statistician, and she wants him to collect these 12 amazing swords, these swords that are crafted, and they basically each have amazing properties to them. If anyone were to gather up these swords, their army would almost surely defeat the world. And so he is out there fighting for these swords, in each episode, predictably, he is trying to capture one of these swords and has to fight an amazing swordsman who is using it. And so if you're looking for your shonen fix, I think this is one of the series to go to. It is really interesting. The characters are quite fun to watch and unique. They're not exactly like any other characters I've ever seen in another anime. And overall, I'm quite enjoying it. Episode 4 was definitely the turning point where it cranked up the volume. It made me really love the series. I found it dynamic. I found it interesting what they're doing. And yeah, I really enjoy the series, and I can recommend it to anyone that's looking for something just a little bit different than what they're used to. Alright, and so now on to the interesting part this season. So I'm going to name the top 3 series we're watching this season, and it's not an exact list, but I think me and Leon would agree that these are probably the top 3 best series you should be checking out this season. At number 3, K-On! 2. So if you enjoyed K-On! 1, you're likely to enjoy K-On! 2. It's about girls who are forming a rock band, and they are having fun with it. And so it's a little bit moe intense. It's a little bit, just little girls having fun. And the second season doesn't have as strong music as the first. We're 3 episodes in and they still really haven't played a new song or anything like that. So that's a bit unfortunate. But still, the series is basically what it was in the first season. And the first season we gave 4 out of 5 stars. It's a really fun series. At number 2, we have Giant Killing. And so Giant Killing is a sports anime about soccer. And so it's kind of done in the style of Akagi or Kaiji in its art. And so I expected it to be pretty dark. Unfortunately, it isn't as dark as those series, but it's still really interesting. It's a sports series with a little bit of a hardcore twist to it, where the characters and stuff, they're hardcore training, they're trying to be the best they can, and they're dealing with this new manager that's sort of trying to get the best out of them. And so if you like sports series, I definitely say give this a try. And even if you don't, it's actually a pretty intriguing series, so it might be worth the watch. And number 1 for this series is a series called Rainbow, which is about 7 kids who are gone to a juvenile detention facility, basically a jail. And they are, it's 1940s-ish Japan. Please don't quote me saying that I'm wrong or whatever. It's some historical Japan, and basically they are being abused in this jail. And so it's about them ganging together as the 7 of them, sort of getting through life and dealing with this situation. And I'm quite enjoying it. It's really dark, a little bit psychological, and has strong characters. And so that's a mixture that I can definitely get behind. Alright, so that is about the major things we're watching. I'll tip my hat a bit to this one called Hero Man, which is also coming out this year as well. Personally, I don't find that exciting. I know Leon does, and so he definitely wants me to mention it. It's a story about a kid named Joey who finds this little robot named Hero Man, and it gets struck by lightning, and basically he has now the ability to use it as the superhero to fight the invading alien race that has been attacking Earth. And so it's a little bit of a comic book inspired story. I hear that Stan Lee has something to do with this. I don't quote me on that, but it sounds like he had something to do with this anime, and it does have a lot of that American sort of feel. It actually does take place in America. And so those are the 4 series that I would say are worth giving a shot if you're looking for series this season. Alright, so now I want to talk a little bit about the Aniview Awards. Not much to say here. We weren't able to do them, and we've basically decided that it's probably best that we wait until September, get back together, and show you guys exactly what we were talking about there. We really, really did want to get it done this semester, in January, but turns out it wasn't to be, and so we're sorry about that. But yeah, so hopefully we'll have that out in September, and you guys are still maybe interested in it. Alright, so I do have one last piece of really good news. Both of us, because we cut out solo reviews from the weekly, still want to get out some of our 3.5 4-star series that we liked, but we know that the other one isn't really going to watch anytime soon. So, in light of that, we're probably going to do some solo reviews over the summer. So, watch out for those, and hopefully that can tide you over until we come back in September. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.